Have you ever wondered why for some, wealth and opportunity seem to flow as effortlessly as a river to the sea, while for others, life is a constant battle against the current? The answer is not found in luck, nor is it hidden in the superficial tricks of positive thinking that have been so widely preached. The truth is far more profound and powerful. There exists a set of fundamental laws, often overlooked, that govern the very fabric of reality and manifestation. These are not principles of mere attraction, but of deliberate creation. They are the unseen gears that turn desire into tangible form, the silent architecture that builds empires from a single, focused thought. This book is the key to unlocking that architecture. It is a guide to the forgotten science of becoming the master of your own destiny, a journey beyond simple attraction to the realm of conscious and inevitable success. Beyond Attraction: The 6 Forgotten Laws of Manifestation, written and published by Success Attraction Formula. Chapter 1: Achieving Absolute Clarity. What if the single greatest obstacle standing between you and the life you desire is not a lack of opportunity, but a lack of clarity? Imagine a ship captain setting sail without a destination plotted on his map. He may have the finest vessel, a skilled crew, and favorable winds, but his journey will be one of aimless drifting. He will be at the mercy of the ocean's whims, pushed and pulled by every current, ultimately arriving nowhere of consequence. This is the state in which most people navigate their lives. They harbor a vague desire for more money, more happiness, more freedom. But this desire is a faint mist, not a guiding star. It lacks the sharp, definitive edges required to command the forces of the universe. This fog of ambiguity is the true source of financial stagnation and unfulfilled potential. It is the reason why affirmations feel hollow and visualization exercises fail to produce tangible results. You cannot manifest a blurred image. You cannot build a life upon a foundation of indecision. The universe responds not to neediness or vague wishing, but to the unwavering signal of a mind that knows, with absolute certainty, precisely what it wants to create. To move from a life of circumstance to a life of design, you must first trade your hazy wishes for a vision so clear and compelling that it becomes more real than your present reality. The solution to this pervasive problem lies in a principle that is both simple in its concept and profound in its power: the law of the crystallized vision. This is not about mere goal setting. It is about the alchemical process of transforming a thought into a vibrant, multisensory experience within your mind. A crystallized vision is a high-definition blueprint of your desired reality, a mental construct so detailed and emotionally charged that it begins to exert a gravitational pull on the material world. It is the act of sculpting your future in the workshop of your imagination before it is ever built in the physical realm. When you achieve this level of absolute clarity, your entire being begins to resonate at a new frequency. Your focus sharpens, your decisions become intuitive and precise, and your actions gain a potent sense of purpose. Distractions fall away, and opportunities that were once invisible to you suddenly appear in your path, as if drawn by a magnet. This is because a clear vision acts as a filter for your perception, tuning your mind to recognize only that which is in alignment with your destination. It is the first and most crucial law of manifestation, for without a crystal-clear target, all other efforts are rendered powerless. The first step in crystallizing your vision is the practice of intentional subtraction. Your mind is likely cluttered with desires that are not truly your own. These are the ambitions inherited from family, the definitions of success absorbed from society, and the materialistic goals projected by advertising. To find your authentic vision, you must first clear away this debris. This requires a period of deep and honest introspection. Ask yourself not what you think you should want, but what your soul genuinely craves. If money were no object and the judgment of others held no weight, what would you dedicate your life to? What experiences would bring you the most profound sense of joy and fulfillment? This process of subtraction is about peeling back the layers of external conditioning to uncover the core truth of your being. It is in this quiet, internal space that your true vision resides, waiting to be acknowledged. Once you begin to identify these authentic desires, you can move to the next stage: sensory amplification. A vision cannot remain a sterile, intellectual concept. It must become a living, breathing reality in your mind. This involves engaging all of your senses. Do not just see yourself living in your dream home. Feel the texture of the wooden floors beneath your feet. Smell the scent of the flowers in the garden. Hear the sounds of laughter echoing through the halls. Do not just imagine financial abundance. Feel the weight of the bank statement in your hand. Hear the confident tone in your voice as you make investments, and taste the satisfaction of a life free from financial worry. This practice of sensory immersion is what gives your vision its energetic signature, its power to communicate with the universe in a language it understands. Furthermore, you must employ what can be called the litmus test of emotion. Your feelings are the most reliable compass you possess for navigating the path to your true desires. As you build and refine your vision, pay close attention to your emotional response. Does the thought of this reality fill you with a deep, expansive sense of excitement and joy? Does it feel like a homecoming, a perfect alignment with who you are meant to be? If your vision evokes feelings of anxiety, inadequacy, or a sense of striving to be someone you are not, it is a clear indication that it is either not your authentic vision or it needs further refinement. True clarity feels effortless. It resonates with a powerful, quiet confidence. Finally, you must solidify your vision through the act of written declaration. An idea that exists only in the mind is like vapor. It is formless and fleeting. To give it substance, you must translate it into the physical world through the written word. Write down your vision in exhaustive detail, using present tense language as if it has already been achieved. Describe your ideal day, from the moment you wake up to the moment you go to sleep. Detail your financial status, your relationships, your physical health, and your emotional state. This act of writing is a powerful ritual of creation. It forces your mind to focus and commit, transforming an abstract dream into a concrete statement of intent. Reading this declaration daily reinforces the vision, embedding it deeper into your subconscious mind until it becomes the dominant blueprint for your life. This is the foundation of achieving absolute clarity, the starting point from which all great fortunes and fulfilling lives are built. This process transforms you from a passive dreamer into a conscious creator. An individual who vaguely hopes for wealth might buy a lottery ticket and wait. But an individual with a crystallized vision of becoming a successful entrepreneur will see a business opportunity in a common problem, feel the drive to develop a solution, and hear the guidance of their intuition leading them to the right resources and partners. Their clarity of purpose makes their actions efficient and their path direct. Without it, they would remain lost in the fog of indecision, their potential untapped. With it, they become an unstoppable force of creation. Clarity is the first and most formidable law, the master key that unlocks all the others. But once you have this perfect, high-definition picture of your destination, a new question arises. How do you construct the bridge that will carry you from the shore of your current reality to the continent of your dreams? What is the architect's secret to turning a beautiful blueprint into a towering, unshakable structure? The answer lies in our next chapter, where we will uncover the forgotten art of crafting a deliberate, powerful, and effective plan. Remember to subscribe to Success Attraction Formula, give this video a like, and comment with your personal opinions or suggestions for channel development. Chapter 2. Crafting Your Deliberate Plan. Have you ever felt the exhilarating rush of a new idea or a powerful vision, only to find yourself paralyzed by the overwhelming question of where to begin? Imagine an aspiring sculptor who has a magnificent vision of a statue locked inside a block of marble. He can see every curve, every line, every expression with perfect clarity. Yet, if he stands before the stone with no plan, no knowledge of which tool to use first or where to make the initial strike, his masterpiece will forever remain a prisoner of his imagination. This is the tragic gap where so many dreams perish. It is the chasm between inspiration and execution. Many people, having achieved a degree of clarity, fall into the trap of passive hope. They may create a vision board, recite affirmations, and wait for the universe to deliver their desires on a silver platter. They treat manifestation as a magical act of summoning, rather than a methodical process of building. This approach inevitably leads to frustration and disillusionment, reinforcing the cynical belief that their dreams are unattainable. The problem is not with the vision, but with the absence of a bridge. A vision without a plan is merely a hallucination, a beautiful but powerless fantasy. It lacks the structure and strategy required to navigate the complexities of the real world and to direct your energy in a way that produces tangible forward movement. The solution to this state of paralysis is to embrace the mindset of the master architect. You must understand that a plan is not a rigid prison that restricts your freedom, but a dynamic blueprint that liberates your potential. It is the essential framework that gives your vision structure and transforms your creative energy from a scattered force into a focused, powerful laser. Crafting a deliberate plan is the second forgotten law of manifestation. It is the act of consciously designing the pathway to your goal, of breaking down a monumental ambition into a series of logical, manageable, and achievable steps. When you have a plan, you replace overwhelm with order and anxiety with a quiet confidence. You no longer wake up wondering what you should do. You wake up knowing exactly what must be done. This shift from passive wishing to active planning is what separates the amateur dreamer from the professional creator. A well-crafted plan does not defy the law of attraction, it enhances it. It is a declaration to the universe that you are not merely interested in your goal, but that you are committed to it. This commitment, demonstrated through strategic thought and preparation, is a powerful energetic signal that attracts the resources, allies, and opportunities you need to bring your blueprint to life. The first principle in crafting your plan is the law of reverse engineering. Instead of looking at the vast distance between where you are and where you want to be, you must start from the end and work backward. With your crystallized vision held firmly in your mind, ask yourself, what is the final, major milestone that must be achieved right before my ultimate vision is realized? Perhaps it is securing a certain level of investment for your business or publishing your first book. Once you have identified this key milestone, ask the question again, what needed to happen right before that? Continue this process, stepping backward through time, identifying each major checkpoint along the path. This method demystifies the journey. A goal like build $1 million enterprise is daunting, but a series of milestones like develop a prototype, acquire 10 paying customers, and hire a key employee feels tangible and achievable. This is how you transform a mountain into a staircase. Each step in itself is manageable. By focusing only on the very next step, you eliminate the sense of being overwhelmed and build momentum with each one you ascend. This process gives you a high-level map of the entire territory, providing both direction and the confidence that comes from knowing the path ahead. Once you have your sequence of milestones, you must apply the principle of the first domino. Within your plan, there will always be one action that, when taken, will make all subsequent actions easier or even irrelevant. This is your critical first move. Identifying it requires strategic thinking. It is often not the easiest task, but it is the one with the most leverage. For an aspiring author, the first domino might not be writing the first chapter, but creating a detailed outline and committing to a daily writing schedule. For someone seeking financial freedom, it might be the act of creating a detailed budget and automating their savings. Finding this first domino requires you to look at your plan and ask, which one of these actions creates the most momentum? Which one unlocks the most progress? Focusing your initial energy on this single, high-impact task creates a powerful chain reaction. When the first domino falls, it provides the force to topple the next, and the next, building a cascade of progress that can feel almost effortless. This is the art of working smarter, not just harder. It is about applying your force at the most strategic point to achieve the greatest possible effect. It is a crucial element in turning your plan from a static document into a living, dynamic force for change in your life. Furthermore, no plan is complete without a strategy for skill acquisition. As you reverse engineer your vision, you will inevitably identify gaps between the skills you currently possess and the skills required to reach your destination. Ignoring these gaps is a recipe for failure. The master architect does not hope they will magically learn what is needed. They create a deliberate plan to acquire that knowledge. You must conduct an honest inventory of your abilities. What do you need to learn about marketing, financial management, leadership, or any other area critical to your success? Once you have identified these necessary skills, you must integrate a learning plan into your overall strategy. This could involve reading books, taking online courses, finding a mentor, or joining a mastermind group. The commitment to continuous learning is non-negotiable. It is the tool that allows you to level up your capabilities in parallel with your ambitions. Finally, you must embrace the habit of daily design. A grand plan is useless if it is not translated into daily action. You must break your milestones down into weekly objectives, and then break those weekly objectives down into specific, non-negotiable tasks for each day. This is where the vision meets the ground. Your daily to-do list should not be a random assortment of busy work. It should be a direct reflection of your larger plan. Each task you complete should be a brick being laid in the foundation of your future empire. This practice of daily design ensures that you are consistently moving forward, even on days when you lack inspiration. It transforms your progress from a matter of mood to a matter of discipline. Consider two individuals who both want to achieve financial independence through real estate. The first has a vague vision and no plan. They spend their weekends browsing property listings online, attend a free seminar here and there, but take no consistent action. Their dream remains a distant fantasy. The second individual, the master architect, first crystallizes their vision to own 5 cash-flowing rental properties within 3 years. They reverse engineer the plan, identifying milestones like saving a down payment, securing financing, identifying a target market, and purchasing the first property. They identify their first domino, mastering the financial analysis of potential deals. They create a skill acquisition plan to learn this, and then they use daily design to dedicate 1 hour each evening to analyzing properties and making offers. Their plan provides a clear, actionable path. Within a few years, their vision is no longer a dream, it is their reality. This is the power of a deliberate plan. It is the structure that channels the raw energy of desire into the concrete results of achievement. It is the second great law of manifestation. But even the most perfect plan is merely a set of instructions. It possesses no power on its own. What is the force that breathes life into the blueprint? What is the unyielding engine that drives the plan forward through resistance and doubt? In the next chapter, we will confront this question and master the art of disciplined, unstoppable action. Remember to subscribe to Success Attraction Formula, give this video a like, and comment with your personal opinions or suggestions for channel development. Chapter 3. The Engine of Disciplined Action. Why is it that two people can have the exact same clear vision and the exact same brilliant plan, yet one will achieve spectacular success while the other remains stuck at the starting line? Imagine a powerful, exquisitely designed automobile, complete with a detailed map to a desired destination loaded into its navigation system. The vehicle has everything it needs for the journey, but it will sit motionless in the garage until one crucial element is introduced: fuel. The engine must be engaged, and the wheels must turn. This is the point where the vast majority of ambitions stall and die. It is the great divide between knowing and doing. The world is filled with knowledgeable, well-intentioned people who understand what is required for success, but who fail to consistently execute. They are masters of theory but novices in practice. This failure to act is often blamed on a lack of motivation, but that is a misunderstanding of the forces at play. Motivation is a fickle, fleeting emotion. It is a spark, not a sustainable fire. Relying on it to power your journey is like relying on a lightning strike to light your home. The real problem is a deficiency in discipline, the cultivated ability to take purposeful action regardless of how you feel in the moment. The solution, and the third forgotten law of manifestation, is to build the engine of disciplined action. Discipline is the force that translates your plan into reality. It is the bridge between thought and achievement, the fuel that powers your vehicle toward its destination. Unlike motivation, which is an external visitor, Discipline is an internal capacity that you build, one conscious choice at a time. It is a muscle, and like any muscle, it grows stronger with consistent, intentional use. To view discipline as a punishment or a restriction is to fundamentally misinterpret its nature. True discipline is the highest form of self-love. It is the act of choosing the future you want over the fleeting comfort you crave in the present moment. It is the ultimate expression of commitment to your own vision. When you build this engine within yourself, you become an unstoppable force. You are no longer at the mercy of your moods or passing whims. You operate from a place of deep, internal resolve. This is where the power of manifestation becomes truly predictable and reliable. You are no longer hoping for results. You are actively engineering them through your unwavering, consistent efforts. The first step in building your engine is to master the rule of 2-minute ignition. The greatest enemy of action is inertia, the tendency to remain at rest. The most difficult part of any task is often simply getting started. Procrastination thrives in the space between thinking about doing something and actually doing it. This rule is designed to obliterate that space. Whatever the task on your plan may be, commit to doing just the first 2 minutes of it. If your task is to write a chapter of your book, commit only to writing 1 sentence. If your task is to exercise, commit only to putting on your workout clothes and stepping onto the treadmill. If your task is to make sales calls, commit only to dialing the first number. What this does is bypass the brain's resistance to large, intimidating tasks. Almost anyone can convince themselves to do something for just 2 minutes. But the magic of this rule, rooted in physics and psychology, is that an object in motion tends to stay in motion. Once you have begun, once you have overcome that initial friction, it is infinitely easier to continue. You will often find that after 2 minutes, you have built enough momentum to keep going for 20 minutes, or even an hour. This is the secret to outsmarting procrastination and making action feel nearly effortless. Next, you must establish the ritual of the sacred hour. This is the practice of identifying and fiercely protecting a specific block of time each day that is dedicated exclusively to working on your plan. This hour is non-negotiable. It is an appointment with your destiny, and it must be treated with more reverence than any other commitment in your schedule. It does not matter when this hour occurs. It could be early in the morning before the world wakes up, during your lunch break, or late at night. The key is consistency. This sacred hour is your workshop, the time when you lay the bricks for your future. During this time, all distractions are eliminated. Your phone is silenced and out of sight. Email is closed, the door is shut. It is a period of deep, focused work. By consecrating this time, you are sending a powerful message to your subconscious mind and to the universe that your vision is your top priority. Over time, this ritual becomes a habit so ingrained that it feels unnatural not to do it. It guarantees that no matter how chaotic the rest of your day becomes, you are making tangible, measurable progress on your most important goals every single day. This is how monumental achievements are constructed, not in grand, sporadic bursts of effort, but in the steady, accumulated power of daily, focused action. Furthermore, you must implement the feedback loop of measurement. What gets measured gets managed, and what gets managed gets improved. To sustain your discipline, you need to see that your efforts are producing results. However, you must focus on tracking your actions, not just your outcomes. Outcomes like weight loss or revenue can be slow to change and are not always within your direct control. Actions, on the other hand, are entirely within your control. Do not just track how much money you have made. Track how many sales calls you made. Do not just track how many pounds you have lost. Track whether you completed your workout today. Create a simple calendar or journal and mark an X on every day that you execute your disciplined action, such as completing your sacred hour. This simple act of tracking creates a visual chain of your commitment. Your goal becomes not to break the chain. This method provides immediate gratification. You get a win for the day simply by showing up and doing the work, which builds a positive feedback loop that reinforces the habit and makes you more likely to continue. It shifts your focus from the distant, lagging result to the immediate, controllable process. Lastly, You must engage in the alchemy of identity. This is the deepest level of building discipline. It is the process of shifting your self-concept from someone who is trying to be disciplined to someone who is a disciplined person. Your behaviors are often a reflection of your identity. If you see yourself as a procrastinator, you will find ways to procrastinate. To make discipline effortless and permanent, you must begin to see yourself as the type of person who always follows through. You can do this by affirming your new identity. Instead of saying, "I will try to work out today," you say, "I am an athlete, and athletes train." Instead of, "I hope I can finish this project," you say, "I am a finisher, and I complete what I start." Every time you take a disciplined action, you are casting a vote for this new identity. With enough votes, this identity becomes your reality, and disciplined action becomes the natural, automatic expression of who you are. Consider an individual who wants to become a successful investor. They have a plan to read one financial report every day. On a particular evening, they feel tired and unmotivated. The amateur, relying on feeling, skips the task. The disciplined creator, however, uses their engine. They apply the 2-minute rule, committing only to opening the document. Once it is open, they decide to read for just a few minutes, and soon they are engrossed. They do this within their sacred hour, which they have blocked off from 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. They mark an X on their calendar, enjoying the small victory of having kept their commitment. And they tell themselves, "I am a successful investor, and successful investors do their research." This is not a battle of willpower. It is the smooth functioning of a well-oiled machine. This is the engine of disciplined action. It is the force that guarantees your plan will not gather dust. It is the power that turns you from a dreamer into a doer. But action, even disciplined action, does not occur in a vacuum. It is affected by the world around you. How do you shape your physical space, your relationships, and your information diet to support your actions rather than sabotage them? How do you construct a fortress of focus in a world full of distractions? Our next chapter will reveal the secrets to mastering your environment. Remember to subscribe to Success Attraction Formula, give this video a like, and comment with your personal opinions or suggestions for channel development. Chapter 4. Mastering Your Environment. Imagine a master gardener who has been gifted the world's most perfect seed. This seed holds the genetic blueprint for a magnificent tree, one capable of bearing abundant, life-sustaining fruit. The gardener, knowing the seed's potential, does not simply toss it onto any patch of ground. Instead, he becomes an architect of its world. He spends days preparing the soil, enriching it with nutrients, and ensuring it is loose and aerated. He carefully selects a location that provides the perfect balance of sunlight and shade. He erects a fence to protect the young sprout from animals, and diligently removes any competing weeds that threaten to steal its resources. He understands a profound truth. The potential of the seed is meaningless without an environment designed to nurture it. This perfect seed is your clearly defined goal, your magnificent intention. The soil, the sun, the fence, and the weeds are your environment, your physical space, your social circles, and your digital world. This leads us to the fourth critical law, and the silent saboteur of countless dreams, the law of environmental mastery. The problem is that most people attempt to plant their precious seed of intention into the toxic, hardened soil of their old environment. They try to build new habits of focus and productivity while sitting in a cluttered room filled with distractions. They try to cultivate a mindset of abundance while spending their evenings with people who only speak of scarcity and complaint. They try to maintain a positive outlook while their phone bombards them with notifications of negativity and comparison. This is a battle fought against impossible odds. You are pitting your finite daily supply of willpower against the constant, overwhelming force of environmental friction. Your surroundings are constantly sending subtle and overt signals to your brain, cueing your old behaviors and reinforcing your past identity. Without mastering your environment, you are choosing to fight an unnecessary and exhausting uphill war against yourself every single day. The transformative solution is to cease being a warrior against your environment and become its intelligent architect. This is the essence of the fourth forgotten law. the law of environmental mastery. This law dictates that you must deliberately and strategically engineer your physical, social, and digital worlds to make your desired actions and mindsets the path of least resistance. It is the art of designing a reality where success, focus, and positivity are the default settings, not the result of a constant, draining struggle. The mindset shift is profound. You move from relying on the scarce resource of willpower to relying on the intelligent design of your surroundings. You are no longer hoping to have enough strength to resist temptation. You are removing the temptation altogether. You are no longer trying to find motivation. You are stepping into a space that automatically inspires it. The benefits of this architectural approach are life-altering. You conserve your precious mental energy and willpower for your most important creative and strategic tasks. You make your desired habits almost effortless while making your undesired habits difficult and inconvenient. Most powerfully, you create a holistic, immersive reality where your external world is in perfect harmony with your internal goals, establishing a powerful feedback loop that accelerates your progress and makes your journey feel like a supportive, collaborative flow rather than a solitary battle. The first principle in mastering your world is the meticulous design of your physical space for peak performance. Your physical environment is not a passive backdrop. It is an active participant in your life, constantly triggering thoughts and behaviors. To support your new reality, you must become a conscious designer of this space. The core strategy is to increase the friction for habits you want to break and decrease the friction for habits you want to build. If your goal is to build a successful online business, you must create a sanctuary of focus. This means having a dedicated workspace, even if it is just a small corner of a room. This space should be clean, organized, and contain only the tools essential for your work. Your laptop, a notepad, a pen. Remove the television. Move the gaming console to another room. Turn your desk so it does not face a window full of distractions. This design decreases the friction to starting work. Conversely, if you want to stop snacking on junk food, increase the friction. Do not buy it. If it must be in the house, put it on a high shelf in the back of a cupboard. Place a bowl of crisp apples and a pitcher of cold water directly on your counter. You have now made the healthy choice the easy choice. If you want to exercise every morning, lay out your workout clothes, shoes, and water bottle the night before. When you wake up, the path of least resistance is to put them on and go. You are using intelligent design to guide your future self into making the right choices automatically. The second, and perhaps most critical principle, is the conscious curation of your social environment. The people with whom you associate are the living, breathing part of your environment, and their influence is paramount. You are an energetic sponge, and you will inevitably absorb the dominant attitudes, beliefs, and expectations of your peer group. If your circle is defined by cynicism, gossip, and a scarcity mindset, their reality will become a gravitational force pulling you down. A social audit is therefore not a luxury, it is a necessity. Take stock of your key relationships. After you speak with or spend time with someone, how do you feel? Energized, inspired, expanded, or depleted, anxious, and small? This is not about judging people as good or bad. It is about recognizing that certain relationships are aligned with your future and others are tethered to your past. Your task is to lovingly and strategically maximize your exposure to your accelerators, the people who champion your growth, and to create healthy, loving boundaries with your anchors, the people whose energy or mindset holds you back. This may mean declining certain invitations, limiting the time spent with certain individuals, or deliberately changing the topic of conversation when it veers into negativity. Simultaneously, you must proactively seek out your future peer group. Join a mastermind, attend a conference, enroll in a high-level course, or participate in online communities dedicated to the goals you're pursuing. By immersing yourself in a social environment that already holds your desired beliefs and successes as normal, you radically accelerate your own belief and success. The third principle is the urgent task of sanitizing and upgrading your digital environment. In our age, the worlds inside our screens are as real and influential as our physical rooms and social circles. If left unmanaged, your digital environment becomes a cesspool of distraction, comparison, and negativity that erodes your focus and self-esteem. You must become the ruthless gatekeeper of your digital consumption. Begin with a digital detox. Delete every app from your phone that does not directly contribute to your goals or your well-being. Unsubscribe from every email newsletter that clutters your inbox or tempts you with mindless consumption. Go through your social media and conduct a great unfollowing. Any account that makes you feel envy, comparison, or inadequacy must go. Then consciously curate your new digital world. Follow leaders, thinkers, and creators in your field. Fill your feeds with content that educates, inspires, and uplifts you. Turn your social media from a source of distraction into your personalized, world-class university. On a practical level, take control of your technology's default settings. Turn off all non-essential notifications on your phone and computer. Every buzz and beep is a tiny tear in the fabric of your focus. Use tools like website blockers to create sacred, distraction-free work periods. You can even set your phone's display to grayscale mode, which has been psychologically shown to make the screen significantly less appealing and addictive. By designing your digital world with the same intention as your physical and social worlds, you reclaim your most precious asset, your focused attention. You have now become the architect of your reality, engineering your environment to be a powerful and consistent ally on your journey. Your world is now primed for your success. However, no journey of great significance is without its trials. The path is never a perfectly straight line. Storms will gather, unforeseen obstacles will rise up, and moments of apparent failure will test your resolve. Your ability to navigate these challenges is what separates the masters from the amateurs. How do you learn to see these setbacks not as walls, but as doors? What is the forgotten law that allows you to transform every failure into the very fuel that propels you forward? This powerful alchemy is what we will master in the next chapter. Remember to subscribe to Success Attraction Formula, give this video a like, and comment with your personal opinions or suggestions for channel development. Chapter 5. Navigating Necessary Setbacks. Imagine a master blacksmith in her workshop, the air thick with the scent of coal and hot metal. Her goal is to forge a legendary blade from a simple, unrefined block of steel. She does not coddle the steel. She thrusts it into the searing heart of the forge, heating it until it glows with an almost unbearable intensity. This is the fire of hardship, the heat of the challenge. Then she pulls it from the flames and places it upon the great anvil. With a powerful rhythm, she begins to strike it with her hammer. Each blow is a shock, a moment of impact, a failure for the steel to remain in its previous form. To the steel, this process must feel like a relentless assault. Yet the blacksmith knows this is the only way. The fire burns away the hidden impurities. The hammer blows align the steel's internal structure, compressing it, strengthening it, transforming it from a brittle, useless mass into a blade of extraordinary strength, flexibility, and sharpness. A sword that has avoided the fire, and the hammer will shatter at the first true test in battle. Your character, your resilience, and your plan are this sword. Setbacks, failures, and obstacles are the essential fire and hammer that forge you into a person capable of wielding your success. This brings us to the fifth forgotten law, and the point where most journeys end prematurely. We are culturally conditioned to fear and avoid failure at all costs. When we encounter a significant obstacle, our internal script screams that this is a sign to stop. We personalize the setback, believing it is a final verdict on our worthiness, a definitive judgment that our goal is impossible. This deep-seated aversion to failure causes us to either play so small that we never encounter meaningful challenges, or to abandon our quest entirely at the first sign of real resistance, leaving our swords unformed and our greatest potential unrealized. The transformative solution is to radically reframe your entire relationship with failure by mastering the fifth forgotten law, the law of necessary setbacks. This law asserts a profound truth. Setbacks are not just a possible part of the journey. They are a guaranteed, necessary, and invaluable component of any worthwhile achievement. They are not the universe punishing you. They are the universe teaching you. A setback is a feedback mechanism of the highest order. It is a precise, real-world data point showing you where your strategy is weak, where your skills are lacking, or where your commitment is being tested. The mindset shift is from the fragile goal of avoiding failure to the powerful goal of learning from it as quickly and efficiently as possible. When you truly internalize this law, you become what author Nassim Taleb calls anti-fragile. Resilience is the ability to withstand a shock and return to your original state. Anti-fragility is the ability to be strengthened by the shock, to actually benefit from volatility and stress. You no longer fear the hammer blows because you know they are making you stronger. You never truly fail because every outcome becomes either the success you wanted or the lesson you needed. This grants you the freedom to take bold, ambitious action, secure in the knowledge that every step, forward or seemingly backward, is ultimately a step on the path of your growth. The first principle in applying this law is the disciplined practice of the data, not drama protocol. When a setback occurs, your mind's immediate, untrained reaction is to create a story, a drama. This is a catastrophe. I'm ruined. I knew I wasn't cut out for this. This emotional narrative is paralyzing and useless. Your protocol as a conscious creator is to refuse to engage with the drama and instead become a forensic analyst of the data. The moment you feel the sting of a setback, you must initiate a formal, after-action review. First, allow yourself to feel the emotion for a brief, defined period, 5 minutes, no more. Then consciously set it aside. Second, write down the objective facts of what happened, without any emotional language. My product launch was a disaster, but the product launch generated 5 sales from a marketing spend of $500. Third, analyze the data and brainstorm potential causes. The price point may have been too high. The marketing message may have been unclear. The website may have had a technical glitch. Fourth, based on your analysis, identify the most valuable lesson. The key lesson is that I need to do more market research on pricing before launching. Finally, and most importantly, formulate one specific, actionable adjustment you will make to your plan based on this new data. This protocol transforms you from a victim of circumstance into a master strategist. The second principle is the art of the strategic pivot. Panic leads to quitting. Strategy leads to pivoting. A setback is a wall in your path, not the end of the path itself. A pivot is an intelligent, deliberate change in your strategy that honors your core vision while adapting your methods based on new information. It is the embodiment of being stubborn and committed to your destination, but completely flexible and unattached to your route. When you encounter that wall, do not waste energy trying to smash through it, and do not retreat in defeat. Instead, climb on top of the wall to get a better view of the landscape. The data from your setback provides this new, higher perspective. Perhaps you realize your initial business idea is not viable, but the skills you developed have opened up a much more lucrative consulting opportunity. That is a pivot. Perhaps you discover that your target market does not want your product, but a different demographic is clamoring for it. That is a pivot. The history of innovation is a history of the pivot. YouTube began as a video dating service. Western Union rejected the telephone as a toy. The ability to calmly assess a failure and strategically pivot your resources toward a more promising direction is a hallmark of every great creator and entrepreneur. The third principle is the long-term practice of building your resilience portfolio, which includes a written failure resume. Just as you build a financial portfolio, you must build a portfolio of evidence that proves your ability to overcome adversity. Your failure resume is a living document where you catalog your most significant past failures. For each entry, you detail not just the failure, but the specific, invaluable lessons you extracted from it. More powerfully, you then document the subsequent successes that were a direct result of those lessons learned. For example, failure 2022, invested in a speculative stock that went to zero. Lesson, learned the importance of value investing in long-term fundamentals. Success 2024 present, built a stable, profitable portfolio based on that principle. This practice does more than just reframe past events. It actively retrains your subconscious mind. By repeatedly reviewing this portfolio, you are providing it with undeniable proof that setbacks are not endings but are, in fact, the necessary prerequisite for your greatest victories. It dissolves the shame associated with failure and replaces it with a deep, embodied sense of confidence in your ability to handle whatever the journey throws at you. You learn to see the scars from past battles not as signs of weakness, but as badges of honor. You have now been forged in the fire, tempered by experience, and equipped with the wisdom to turn any obstacle into an asset. You have clarity of vision, a deliberate plan, a powerful engine of discipline, a supportive environment, and the anti-fragility to learn from every storm. The sixth and final forgotten law is what integrates all of these elements, creating an unstoppable force of compounding success. How do you create a virtuous, self-reinforcing cycle where every achievement, no matter how small, builds the power and velocity for the next, creating a tidal wave of momentum that carries you effortlessly toward your grandest vision? This final, powerful law is what we shall master next. Remember to subscribe to Success Attraction Formula, give this video a like, and comment with your personal opinions or suggestions for channel development. Chapter 6. Building Sustainable Momentum. Imagine a colossal stone flywheel, perfectly balanced on a central axle. It is ancient and immensely heavy. Your task is to make it spin. You place your hands on its cold, rough surface, and you push with every ounce of your strength. For what feels like an eternity, nothing happens. It is a moment of pure brute force effort against immense inertia. Finally, with a deep groan, the wheel moves a single, barely perceptible inch. You push again and again, each rotation a grueling testament to your will. This is the start of every great journey. But then, a subtle magic begins to unfold. As the flywheel completes its first slow rotations, it starts to accumulate kinetic energy. It begins to build its own momentum. The next push is noticeably easier. The one after that is easier still. Soon the flywheel is spinning with a powerful humming force. Its own weight and velocity, which were once your greatest adversaries, have become your greatest allies. A point is reached where the wheel spins with such force that it becomes nearly unstoppable, requiring only a gentle, periodic push to maintain its incredible speed. This flywheel is the arc of your success, and this force is momentum. This metaphor highlights the sixth and final failure point on the path of manifestation, the failure to build upon success. Too often, we treat a victory as a finish line. We achieve a goal, feel a brief sense of relief or celebration, and then we take our hands off the flywheel. We relax our discipline, we stop taking strategic action, and the powerful momentum we fought so hard to create grinds to a slow, painful halt. This forces us to start the entire agonizing process over again from a dead stop with the next goal. This is why progress for so many is a series of exhausting, disconnected sprints, rather than a smooth, accelerating journey. The transformative solution is to master the sixth and final forgotten law, the law of sustainable momentum. This is the strategic and deliberate art of using every single success, every win, no matter how small, as the foundational energy for the next success. It is the conscious practice of creating a positive, compounding, self-reinforcing feedback loop where achievement perpetually fuels greater achievement. The mindset shift is from seeing success as a destination to seeing it as fuel. You understand that the purpose of achieving goal A is not just to have achieved goal A, but to use the energy, resources, and confidence gained from it to make achieving goal B, C, and D exponentially easier. You are no longer just pushing the flywheel, you are strategically timing your pushes to ride its growing velocity. The benefits of this law are what separate good results from extraordinary legacy-defining results. Your progress becomes exponential, not linear. Your confidence becomes an unshakable force built on a mountain of tangible evidence. You create a success vortex around you, an energetic field that begins to attract bigger opportunities and more powerful allies. Over time, the need for heroic, brute force effort diminishes, as the powerful accumulated force of your momentum does most of the heavy lifting for you. The first principle in building this unstoppable force is the immediate application of the stack the wins strategy. A victory that is not leveraged is a wasted resource. The moment you achieve a success, You must train your mind to immediately ask the question, what does this now make possible? Then you must act on that new possibility immediately, while the energy of the win is still fresh. Did you successfully negotiate a raise at work? Do not just deposit the extra money. Stack that win. Immediately increase your automatic monthly investment contribution, leveraging your new income into long-term wealth creation. Did you finally complete a difficult creative project? Stack that win. Use the credibility in the finished product to immediately pitch 3 new clients or apply for a prestigious award. Did you get a glowing testimonial from a happy customer? Stack that win. Instantly place that testimonial on the front page of your website, share it in an email to your list, and use it as social proof in your next ad campaign. This strategy creates success chains, where one victory directly unlocks the door to the next, which unlocks the next. It is the conscious act of turning a single spark into a bonfire. The second principle is the non-negotiable ritual of visible progress tracking and celebration. Momentum is a physical force, but it is sustained by a psychological one, the feeling of making progress. To keep this feeling alive, your progress must be made tangible and visible. The human brain is not good at remembering small, incremental wins. It tends to focus on the vast distance yet to be traveled. You must counteract this with a system of tracking. This can be a done journal, where you write down every single productive action you took each day. It could be a large chart on your wall, where you track your key metrics. It could be a simple jar where you place a marble for every sales call made or every workout completed. At the end of each week, you must have a ritual of reviewing this visible proof of your effort. This review provides undeniable evidence to your brain that you are moving, you are winning, you are building. This review must be paired with genuine celebration. Celebrating your progress, especially the completion of process-oriented goals, like sticking to your plan for a week, releases dopamine, the neurotransmitter of motivation and reward. This reinforces the very behaviors you want to continue, making you psychologically eager to keep pushing the flywheel. The third principle is the disciplined application of the strategic reinvestment rule. A system can only sustain momentum if its gains are reinvested to make the system itself stronger. When your efforts yield a return, you must have a plan to strategically reinvest a portion of that return back into your own growth engine. This reinvestment takes 3 primary forms. First is the reinvestment of money. If your business generates a profit, allocate a percentage to be reinvested into better technology, more effective marketing, or your own high-level education. Second is the reinvestment of time. As your systems become more efficient, you will gain back time. Reinvest that time into learning new, higher-leverage skills or into strategic thinking and planning for your next phase of growth. Third is the reinvestment of energy. After the successful completion of a major project, you will have a surge of positive energy and confidence. Reinvest that peak state energy immediately into mapping out your next, even more ambitious goal. This constant cycle of achieving, returning, and reinvesting creates a powerful upward spiral. Your skills, your systems, and your resources are always expanding, allowing the flywheel of your life to spin faster, wider, and with more world-altering force than you ever imagined possible. These 6 forgotten laws, absolute clarity, deliberate planning, disciplined action, environmental mastery, navigating necessary setbacks, and building sustainable momentum, are not 6 separate ideas. They are one complete, holistic system for deliberate creation. They represent a journey from the intangible realm of thought to the concrete world of results. It is a path that takes you beyond hoping and wishing, beyond mere attraction, and into the powerful, vibrant reality of being the conscious architect of your life and fortune. The journey was never about discovering a secret trick to get what you want, but about systematically becoming the person for whom achieving your grandest vision is the most natural and inevitable thing in the world. The power to create was never outside of you. These laws have simply shown you how to unlock it, to harness it, and to direct it with the skill of a master. We have now arrived at the culmination of our journey, a path that has guided us far beyond the shores of simple attraction into the heartland of deliberate creation. Our expedition began with the foundational law of absolute clarity, where we learned to transform vague wishes into precise, high-definition destinations. From there, we mastered the law of deliberate planning, drawing a strategic, step-by-step map from our present reality to our desired future. We then ignited the powerful engine of disciplined action, forging the consistency and commitment necessary to drive us forward regardless of our fleeting moods. With the law of environmental mastery, we became the architects of our world, shaping our surroundings to support our success. We learned to welcome the forge of experience through the law of necessary setbacks, turning every obstacle into fuel. And finally, with the law of sustainable momentum, we learned to compound our victories, creating an unstoppable force of progress. These 6 laws form a complete, cohesive system for turning thought into things, a practical blueprint for becoming the conscious author of your own reality. Thank you for dedicating your time and attention to mastering these principles. To continue this journey of empowerment, please remember to like this video, share your own insights in the comments below, and subscribe to the Success Attraction Formula channel.